go back to Al Gore's
Kilimanjaro
Inconvenient Truth.
supposed to no snow by 2006 or something.
All
like
bullshit. All wrong. No one guesses it right. But that aside, the problem is you're putting in new control. You're putting in a new mandate, a new narrative. This narrative is you have to do this because if we don't, we're all gonna die. Okay, so everybody has to get on board. And our patience is wearing thin, and everybody has to get on board. Why are you driving an internal combustion engine? Why are you still... Okay, but also people are making money in this conversion. You have to understand there's businesses that are set up that are being positively affected by this conversion. They're going to make of money. And those are the ones that are going to influence people to pass legislation that mandates things and make sure that we have only electric cars by 2035.
But how are we going to propel those electric cars?
Well, how about where are you getting all the conflict minerals? The craziest thing about electric cars and electric everything is cobalt mining.
And lithium, it's all in China.
It's not just in China, it's in the Congo, and they're using slaves to pull it out of the ground.
Well, where you start digging into the Congo, you start getting into some pretty precious resources there in Virunga and that area. I mean, that is a World Heritage Site. It creates like an absurd amount of our oxygen. I mean, it's an extremely important region that is unfortunately extremely mineral rich. Yeah.
And the story of how they get the minerals out. This guy Siddharth Kara came on the podcast, and he was a journalist that got embedded in these cobalt mines and got this insane footage of slave labor, essentially. So people have dirt floors, they have no money, they have no food, they have no options. They're carrying their babies on their back while they're mining cobalt. So they're getting all this cobalt dust everywhere. So they're all getting poisoned. They're all of a host of diseases that are coming about from this toxic fumes of this they're chipping out of the ground. And that's what powers all of our electric devices. That's a part of it.
But the other big problem that no one wants to talk about, and I think that the debate needs to be approached from the standpoint of we've got one side that says, show me proof that the world's going to end. I don't need to show you proof. I said it.
Right.
Do this bullshit. Okay, let's just say that we took a corner of Utah and we just solar paneled that and we made enough electricity for the entire nation. Guess what we can't do? Get it anywhere. Because the grid, we do not have the pipeline of the grid. California's maxed out. They can't bring it anymore. They've got to run pipeline. They've got to run wires. They're maxed out. They can't get enough power to the cities as it is. They're doing rolling blackouts. They're telling people to not charge their electric vehicles in the summer.
They said that like 2 weeks after they made the mandate for 2035.
Yeah. So maybe figure out how you're going to get the electricity to the cities.
Yeah.
And I'm a big supporter of especially there. Throw solar panels on top of everything. Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? It's free power.
Yeah. Do it.
It's free power and it does work. You can power your house with solar if you have a big enough yard and you've sun out, especially in LA where it's sunny all the time.
Yeah, it's inexcusable to not do it. Every new house should have them.
Yeah, but the problem is, it's just, boy, you're dealing with so many people. That's the problem. Like if you wanted to come into California right now and you wanted to manage it correctly and you wanted to fix all the wrongs and you wanted to clean up the streets and stop all the crime, like you couldn't even do it. You couldn't even do it. There's too many people that are against you. There's too many people that no matter how badly they fail doing it in a certain direction, they're going to keep going in that direction. They're going to double down.
Yeah. And they're going to try, and now there's so many people leaving California. They're trying to come up with this new tax where if you leave California for the next 10 years, you still have to somehow pay.
Isn't that nuts?
It's nonsense. Nonsense.
You can't do it.
No,
it's not legal. But also, you criminals. Like, you suck, and you suck. So when people are leaving, you're like, well, we still want money. No, we're leaving because you suck. Like, that's what states are about. You get to move to a new state, and this state's got different laws. I like this one better. Bye. Yeah. That's it. We don't have an agreement where we're not paying alimony. I wasn't married to you, bitch. Like, I gotta go.
Yeah, see you later.
Gotta go. See you. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
figure it out.
I get the random California letter like, "Are you sure you don't owe us any money?" Like, I haven't lived there in 10 years. I haven't been there in 5.
I mean, when you have a $34 or $32 billion deficit,
you cast it out there, see if you can catch it.
You got to send dudes out. Like, let's go.
But now they're talking about, Here's one of the things that I've always found interesting, because everyone knows this and no one says it. When they talk about the top 1% of the 1%, that they don't pay income tax, the average, the guy that makes 80,000, 100,000 a year is paying a higher percentage than those guys. Well, yes, because you know what billionaires don't get? They don't get a paycheck. They don't get a W-2. All those leaders all the head of this bank or that bank, they're getting $1. That's their salary. And they're getting stocks. And until they sell the stock, we don't know what the stock's worth. Everyone talks about Elon Musk is worth 140, however many billions. No, he's not. If he's tried to sell all his stock today and get that, he would collapse all his companies. Collapse them. You can't do it. Same with Bezos, same with any of those guys. So it's paper wealth. Are they extremely wealthy? Sure. Where do they get their money from? Well, they sell 1 million shares here, they sell 1 million there. Maybe they take a line of credit out off of their shares. I don't know. But they don't get a paycheck.
Right. Exactly.
And you can't tax an unrealized gain because we don't know what it's worth. Did they find a loophole? Of course they did. They're billionaires. Yeah, they're smart guys.
They're not paying their share. But if you look at that's the narrative in New York City. But have you ever seen the New York City tax breakdown? Like how much of the tax is paid by wealthy people?
Oh, I'm sure it's 60%, 65%.
It's an enormous percent of a small percentage of the population is paying an enormous percent of the taxes.
Well,
and it's still chaos.
Let's just say Jeff Bezos is worth. Let's just say he's worth $100 billion, and if he gets his effective tax rate down to 10%, he's paying $10 billion. So, how many people making $100,000? And on the same thing now they're paying $10,000 on their $100,000. I'm no mathematician, but how many 10,000 times what equals 10 billion? 10,000, 100,000, million.
Isn't it 10,000 times a million?
Something like that, yeah.
Or 100 million. What is that, Jimmy?
It'd be 10,000 times. It'd be 10,000 times a million.
10 100 millions would be a billion.
Okay.
10 times 100 million.
All right.
That's a lot of money, kids.
So it takes 100 million people to make the same amount of taxes.
Yeah. And also, if their stock drops, like if they pay that much in stock and then the stock drops the next year, like what are you going to do then? And now they have to pay less, but now they have even less.
Yeah, but they can't even sell it all. He couldn't sell. Bezos could not sell 20% of his holdings without dramatically negatively affecting the stock price.
Right.